So I've got about 10,000 hours over like 100 different video games. There are some video games where I have many more hours, like Counter-Strike Global Offensive, I've probably got like 2,000 hours. Minecraft, probably like 2,000 hours. You know, all these games. But there's this one game that I used to play back in like 2010 to like 2013 called, you've probably heard of it, Roblox. So Roblox, if you don't know what it is, it's this game where basically, so you know how on YouTube, different people can upload videos and like people can watch your videos on YouTube, right? Roblox is kind of like YouTube for games. So everyone can like make their own game and put it onto Roblox. So essentially Roblox has like thousands of games. Anyway, so I used to be like really into Roblox. Roblox was like the beginning of my gaming journey, like the beginning of when I got really obsessed with gaming. So before Roblox, I would play games from time to time, but I was never like, I didn't have that addiction yet. I wasn't like thinking about it all day and playing it all day. You know, I played games like Digimon and stuff like that. But when I started playing Roblox, this is when my obsession with gaming began. I was like thinking about Roblox all day, you know, before bed, I was like imagining Roblox, planning what I was going to do the next day. I'd be in class, like wanting to get out of class so I could go home and play Roblox. Like I would like run home from school so I could get on my computer and like play Roblox and stuff. But here's the thing, Roblox and like video games in general, I've realized over the years, have a dark side. And many guys are really going to disagree with this because guys are obsessed with video games, including me. But hopefully you'll listen to this message and like take something out of it. So I'll start with Roblox. So the thing with video games that I've realized is video games kind of fulfill this psychological need that that guys have. So for example, guys, like men in general, love to make progress. They get like a lot of fulfillment in life from this feeling of progress. Like, you know, guys like to work on projects, or they like to go to the gym, or they like to like advance in their career or something. Guys love to make progress. But video games allow you to make progress. They allow you to get that feeling of progress, but with no work required. So there's this concept I learned when I was researching like dopamine and stuff. Basically, reward without effort is really dangerous. Because if you have reward with no effort, then that becomes your new norm, if that makes sense. So let's say, for example, like in the real world, to get a feeling of progress, to get a feeling of achievement, you need to like work hard in the gym and like eat well, or you have to like focus really hard on your business and get no results for many months, you know, work really hard, basically do a lot of effort to get some rewards in the future. But with a video game, what you can do is you can boot it up, and within like an hour, just clicking some buttons, you can get a massive reward, like a huge sense of achievement. So if you can really easily get reward without effort, then your brain starts seeking that really easy source of reward, right? Video games become an easy way to get that feeling of progress in your life. So video games, I've realized, fulfill some psychological need that you have. So the first one that I mentioned is like a feeling of progress. But another one is a feeling of brotherhood, or like a feeling of intimacy. Now this is where the dark side of Roblox comes in. I used to play Roblox, and at the time, like I didn't have a ton of friends, right? I was like grade 5 or whatever, 2010 or something. But on Roblox, I had like a popping social life. I had like a bunch of friends on Roblox who I would like chat to, and we'd be best friends. And I even had like guys on Steam who I would talk to, and like we'd be good friends. But I never saw what these guys looked like. I never even heard their voice, but like they were my friends. They were some of my good friends in my life. These guys that I met on Roblox. So this video game was giving me this sense of friendship that I didn't have in my real life. So this is where the dark side of Roblox comes in. And there's actually an even darker thing about Roblox. So like there's a lot of memes that go around. By the way, this is not just a video about Roblox. This is about a video about video games in general. But this concept applies to all video games. Anyway, so there's these memes that go around about Roblox. And it's like, oh man, when your Roblox girlfriend breaks up with you, something like that. Like this concept of like a Roblox girlfriend. But here's the dark thing. Roblox girlfriends are real. On Roblox, there are girls. Like they might not be real girls. They might be guys who dress up as girls, but there are girls. And there are literally games on Roblox where you can go on a date. And I know because I did these. I went on like a date on Roblox. Like the sad thing about this is, first of all, it might not even be a girl. You might be going on a date with like a 50-year-old dude. But the second thing is, it's sad because your body and your brain desires this feeling of intimacy and brotherhood in your life. And you're getting it through this like artificial means on this game. And this is the sad thing because in the past, if you wanted a feeling of intimacy in your life, if you wanted like friends in your life, the only way to do it was to go out into the real world, you know, go through the pain of being rejected, go through the pain of like not having friends until you like click with someone and become friends with them, right? But now you can literally get that psychological need fulfilled like that just by opening a video game. So there's this thing called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Basically, I don't know if you know what it is. Basically, there's like a hierarchy of needs that we have in our life. So at the bottom, it's like basic survival needs like food, water, shelter, whatever. And then the next level, I think level 3, is like brotherhood and like a feeling of like friendship and stuff. So it's literally a need that we have inside us to have friends, to have intimacy in our life. And we can get this artificially with the press of a button on a video game. So this is where I think the dark side of video games come in. You know, games like Roblox and just video games in general are pulling a whole generation of men into them, taking them out of the real world and like essentially like making them lonely. Because if you get pulled into a video game and you get your sense of friendship and brotherhood from a video game, or your sense of mission and purpose, then you don't develop the skills and the traits necessary to do that in the real world. So when you do get put out into the real world, when you actually have to make real friends, when you have to make like a real girlfriend or something, you don't have those skills, and you know, you've been lonely your whole life. That's like one of the reasons why I think there's this big movement of like incels. Guys who are like giving up on life and they're like going all in on the digital world. This is only going to get worse in the future when we've got like completely realistic VR headsets where guys are like being plugged into the online world and they're getting all their needs met online digitally. Now, a bunch of guys, like, there's no going back. They've accepted that they want to live in the real world and they don't really care. They're like, oh, I don't really care. I don't care if I have the real thing or the fake thing. Just like, give me something. So that's one group of guys. Those guys are probably not watching my videos. You know, they're probably enjoying the digital world out there or whatever. But there's another group of men who actually want something more from their life than like some digital fake version of brotherhood, of progress, of purpose. And this is why I think video games are very dangerous, because they make you feel like you're having your need fulfilled, but you're not. The need is being falsely fulfilled. So with all video games, you're getting a sense of like purpose and mission. Like when I used to play Counter-Strike, I was dominating a bunch of guys. Like I was actually pretty good at Counter-Strike, right? Like kind of. Like if you know the ranks, I was like, I can't remember the rank, but either way, I was pretty good at Counter-Strike. I was like dominating men everywhere. I was like leveling up, achieving progress, making friends. I was getting all my real world needs met with like the click of some buttons. But I wasn't getting any of the real world results. Like when I would turn off my computer, I'd be back to reality, and reality sucked. I didn't have any real world progress really. The progress I was making was in this game. So that's the thing, like you're getting your needs met, but like when you come back to reality, when you turn off the game, your life just sucks. That's the problem. And because it's so easy to achieve those psychological needs in a video game, your brain doesn't want to go seek it out in the real world. It's like, why would you seek progress in the real world when you can do it in your game? So this is why it's so hard for guys to quit video games. I know many guys want to quit video games, but it can be so hard because when you go back into the real world sucks. You got no friends, you got no progress. You're like throwing that all away. That's why I think it's dangerous to like take video games away from kids, because their life's just gonna get so much worse. But how I quit video games, it was actually very simple. I've been on and off playing video games, but the first time I truly got off playing video games was when I got into the gym. In 2017, I got into the gym for about 8 months and then I stopped. But I got really obsessed with the gym. And so the idea of playing video games, I had no interest anymore. I wasn't going onto YouTube and watching like Counter-Strike videos. I was going onto YouTube and watching like fitness videos. And then the next period of time when I stopped playing video games was when I moved to university and like I started like socializing and making friends and talking to people. Suddenly I didn't even care at all about playing video games. And my life went from 0 to 1. Because I was getting my psychological needs met, but I was also making progress in the real world. So my life was no longer trash, was no longer horrible. You know, when you're playing a video game, your life is only good when you're on the video game. So now I'm not saying like everyone should quit video games, you know, stop playing video games. You know, many guys, they can moderate video games very well. Like I have this friend, he plays video games like once a month and that's it. Or once a week and that's it. Bro, if you can do that, go ahead. But if you're anything like me, you cannot moderate video games. Me, if I want to do something, I'm going all in. If I'm playing a video game, I'm thinking about it all day. You know, it's the first thing I think about when I wake up. I'm playing at least 2 hours a day. You know, I'm sacrificing my social life, everything for these video games. So if you're like me, I cannot moderate video games. It's that simple because, you know, if I try to moderate video games, it's like I'm teasing myself. It's like I'm like taking away something that I truly want deep down. So really, the only option I had was to quit them altogether, really. So you got to be honest with yourself. Are you one of those guys who cannot moderate video games? Are you someone who's just obsessed with video games? If that's the case, then you might have to realize that you can't moderate it. And also, I don't think there's any point in moderating video games. If you can get exactly what you're getting in a video game, but in the real world, plus the real world is making your life better and actually giving you real world results, why would you not go into the real world, right? Why would you keep playing video games when you can get all that stuff in the real world? Like, my life is the same, if not better, doing exactly what I did in the video game world in the real world. So why not just do it in the real world? And like, video games, you know, they're not even that fun, really, to be honest. Like, when you first played video games, when you first discovered video games, like when I first built my first PC, right? Let me show you. So when I built my first PC, right? Here it is. When I built my first PC, I was like playing all these like brand new games like Battlefront, Battlefield, and it was amazing. It was like I was living in a whole new world, right? But after a while, it just becomes boring. It just becomes your new norm. Your mind and your body always adapt to the new norm. So video games are exciting at first, but then they kind of become just standard and normal. It's like the first time you smoke weed, the first time you drink, the first time you do a drug. It's like you're living in a whole new world. But then after a while, you need more and more and more to get that same kick, and it doesn't become as fun. Like, I had many experiences, many days, where I'd like open up my Steam library and see like hundreds of games, and I'd be like, oh man, I don't know what to play. So you're probably experiencing this as well. Just stop playing. Just start replacing your video games with other things in the real world. Because video games are like a band-aid for what you truly want from your life. But here's the thing, as soon as lockdown came in, lockdown started, I was no longer socializing. I was no longer going to the gym and making progress. I got back into video games for about a year. I was playing like Team Fortress 2 and like Red Dead Redemption and Rocket League. The times in my life when I was playing video games was when I wasn't getting those needs met in the real world. But as soon as I realized this, as soon as I realized why I was playing video games, then for me it was a no-brainer. I was like, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna stop playing these games in the long term. I'm gonna achieve this sense of purpose in the real world. So for most guys, it's gonna be, you know, getting into the gym. Because lifting weights and like increasing your weight on your workouts, that's kind of like getting points in a video game. It gives you that feeling that you get from the video game. Or maybe for many guys, it's gonna be starting a business or something and trying to make some money online. Or like focusing on your grades, you know, grades kind of give you that sense of achievement and XP as well. The important thing is that you realize what video games are doing and what they're like achieving in your life. So yeah, hope this helped.